want us to allow ourselves to be oppressed.
This is I agree with you perfectly. This is the basic problem.
Then what do you
that white people think they're better than others?
I can't solve the problem. You guys pull the strings that close schools. You guys draw the boundaries that keep our kids restricted to the ghetto. You guys write up the restrictive covenants that keep us out of houses. So it's up to you to talk to your brothers and your sisters and persuade them that they have a responsibility. We've assumed ours for over 400 years, and we're tired of this kind of stuff now. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. No more praying for those who despitefully use us. We're going to show you that we've learned the lessons you've taught us. We've studied your history, and you did not take over this country by singing "We Shall Overcome." You did not gain control of the world like you have it now by dealing fairly with man and keeping your word. You're treaty breakers, you're liars, you're thieves, you rape entire continents and races of people. Then you wonder why these very people don't have any confidence or trust in you. Your religion means nothing. Your law is a farce, and we see it every day. You demonstrated it in Alabama, and I can say you, because you're part of the whole system, you profit from it. In fact, you make your living from it. You couldn't walk around and talk to people, stand up in your pulpit on Sunday and preach nice little songs and say, now we're going to give thanks to the Lord for he is good and old Jesus be among us. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated, just like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated. So you can have him. And here's what I'll say. I wish you would follow Jesus like we followed him. Because if you did that, then we'd be in charge tomorrow.
I was made in the image of Yahweh. My spirit Marvin Gaye, heart pump with black power. Way before the days when he tore down the towers. I ain't talking 9/11, Nimrod had the power. That was Shinar. Before that we had the showers. Before Adam got deceived, he said the world was ours. Lost it in a second, cause we bite and we devour. Was given all of the earth and we don't even say the water. Gave us Messiah, we don't even say our Father. We walk down in heaven, so our burdens getting harder. Word to the turbans on our elders with the Taurus, no capping, that's a rap. Yahweh shied, he died for us. Mamas cried for us, daddies did their best if they survived the whole time. To be the mice, they lied to us. Synagogue of Shaitan on my body and my mind. My soul for Yahweh, my purpose is aligned. This little light of mine running dim, but it shines. The majors of Shaitan pulling at me, but I climb. You're looking at divine, most merciful and beneficent. The sun, moon, and stars, the creator of the firmament. That's why I stay marching to Zion, it's like a tournament. The rounds getting harder, but I still walk the waters. Euphrates and the Nile, the Mississippi River come to me. I will walk across the currents with a smile. That's faith over trials. I still hear Mary and my grandmother telling me I was special as a child, but I was in denial. The killers and the crack addicts made it hard to smile. She know I will repent but keep my drug dealer style. Several gold chains, you can see them from a mile. I'm wild effervescent. I'm proof you can grow through your trials and your lessons, your curses and your blessings if you seek his acceptance.
I need the I need thee. I need thee.
Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Hanyawa Al Yak, Hanyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh. Yasha'aya Hawa, Yasha'aya Hawa, Wanyawa al Yaka, Wanyawa al Yaka, Wayasham, Wayasham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
Shalom, 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 man. Giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh by Hashem and Mashiach Yahushai. Hey, I'm going to say shalom to everybody out there. Oh, yeah, so. Hey, we want to say shalom to everybody out there. Everybody on our live. We'd like to say shalom. Shalom to all the brothers, all the Akma, right? And we want to say hey, happy Shabbat, man, the Shah Shabbat, right? Hey, everybody got to open it before we get started. Right, because we're about to go in this thing, man, if nobody do. All right. So we're on commandment number 170, if I'm not mistaken. Business practices, right? Because beyond any popular belief, right, Israel, we got business practices that we have to actually, you know what I'm saying, uphold to, right? Not to do wrong in buying or selling. Leviticus 25 and 14. Because you can't wrong your brother, man. Can't sit there and put the scale on 2 grams already, and you selling your brother 3 grams worth of rice, man.
Right.
That's just off. You can't do it, man. Right? So not to do wrong in buying or selling.
Everybody say Khan when they get there. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 14.
Khan.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, and verse 14. And it reads, and if thou sell out unto thy neighbor, or buyest out of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another.
Hey, you can't oppress your brother, man. It's already bad enough that we're in the curses, right?
Right.
Now you're trying to get over on your brother.
Right.
Right? You're trying to get what you can get out the deal. You
Trying
can't
to finesse.
Oh,
you know,
man.
You know the finesse game.
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody in Israel know how to finesse.
Yes. Yes,
Right? So, commandment number 171, not to make a loan to an Israelite on interest. Can't be like them wicked Edomites, man.
No.
Leviticus 25 and 37.
Everybody say Khan. Everybody say Khan when they get there. Hello.
Oh, man.
That's all right. Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 37. And it reads, thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy virtuals for increase.
Victuals,
Slakia, victuals for increase. Yeah, so you know how like, huh?
right.
Yeah, you know how like you go to the bank, right? And you always got to give them interest. They always want more, right? So you can't like give your brothers and sister more, man. Like that's off. Like yeah, you got it. You owe me $20. You owe me, you know what I mean? But I need an extra 40. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a lot, and I know Jakes that let brothers borrow money, brothers, sisters, whatever, from the hood, from around the way in Jersey, that
Right.
let brothers borrow money, and then when you have to pay them like 50% or 50% back on top of what you pay them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to give another 50%.
Right.
Some people charge 75%. You know what I'm saying? So you borrow $100 for somebody, you got to pay them back 150 or $175.
Yeah, that's
You
all.
know what I mean? And the Bible also says, "Don't oppress the poor." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's what our people do. But yeah, God, King.
Salakia, because even in America, it's built off a usury system.
Right.
It's built off usury. You may not be lending money, but when you spend money, there's a thing called a sales tax and a state tax.
Mm.
That's usury,
That's right.
right? If you buy something for $100, you're not paying $100 here in America. You're gonna pay $100 and maybe $6 or $107.
That's right.
So the whole system is built off usury, and they disguise it in the form of sales tax
Right.
and state taxes. You know,
That's right, King.
And it's
That's
just
right, King.
it's just wicked. But that's this system, though. The earth is given in the hands of the wicked, man.
That's right.
And the scriptures, and I guess we're about to get to it too. The scriptures say, but we can charge the heathen. You know what I'm saying? But see, Esau, they charge even their own people interest. You know what I'm saying? Not as much as they charge us, but they charge anybody interest. Because Esau only care about money. He don't care about nothing else. Go ahead, King.
Come. And that's all praises, right? So we're going to go to commandment number 172. Not to borrow on interest, because this would cause the lender to sin. Deuteronomy 23 and 20. Right? Because, hey, look, and that's the way this system is set up, though. This system is not only set up and predicated to make us sin, but then it's also compound that sin by making your brother sin. So they're made to actually set everybody up to fail, which is Brother Hashai's favorite scripture, right? Judah chapter 5 and verse 17.
Right.
Right? But go ahead and bring that Deuteronomy out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 20.
Yep, come.
And it reads, "Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury."
Wait, read that again, because see, people always think that everybody the same, right? He said upon a stranger, right? You can definitely put upon usury. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 20. "Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury,
Go ahead.
but unto thy brother."
Until your what?
But unto thy brother.
No, everybody's your brother.
But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
That'll let you know everybody ain't equal. Go ahead.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thy hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Man, I see you, Shia. I see you, Shia. He ready. Go ahead, bro. You got something to say, bro?
You already know, King. It was all praises that came out, bro. What you brought out, right? Hey, look, the Most High said, look, you see how the Most High deal with our people? We supposed to deal with each other differently, and just like like the brother put out there, man. Hey, Ariel, that was so powerful, right? So we know that if we was all one, right, like they teach you, right? If we were all the same, then why would he have laws separate from the other people?
Come on, man.
I mean, this is crazy, man. But it's always going to be a hierarchy, and it's going to be servants. No, it's never going to be equality.
Nah.
With that, I yield, King.
Hey, and that's
All right.
because I know last week we did the food, and they said that, hey, if something died of itself, you can give it to the stranger, but upon
All right.
you can't, your brother, you can't eat it.
Right.
So that lets you know that it's set apart, man. Right? So, yeah, anybody else have anything to say? Add to that?
I got a precept in Nehemiah.
Go ahead.
Bring that up.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, and I'm gonna start with verse 6, right? And it reads, "And I was very angry when I heard their cries and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, Ye exact usury every one of his brother, and I set a great assembly against them." Because they were doing these things, man. They were doing these things in the time of Nehemiah. They were rebuilding the temple when they got back to the Holy Land. I think this is under the Persian captivity. We were allowed to go back and build the temple. But when Nehemiah said, we are exacting usury, mean we charging interest to our own people, you know, and Nehemiah knew the law because he opened up the book of the law and read for the people that we shouldn't be exact usury or interest, you know, against our people.
And that was a great precept, right? And we can't do it, man. So don't be add no interest on your brother, man. We already struggling, man.
Right.
Look at that. Look at the 12. Hey, what is this guy doing, man? You gotta watch that guy, man. You gotta always watch Judah King.
God.
That guy, man. All praises. Hey,
God.
you on mute, King.
You're on mute.
Oh, I was on mute. God. Hey man, look, this what it's about, man. These 12 tribes. And that's what we trying to talk to right now, right?
Right.
All praise to the Most High, man, and the water, man, for the brothers Mighty Red, man. Make this beautiful shirt for me, man. You know what I mean? Because this is what I wanted. And I didn't even tell her that, bro. And that's all praises to the Most High. That's the spirit, brother.
God.
Did she put usury on that?
Yeah, she put no usury on that, brother.
I just had to make sure she wasn't going wrong.
Hey, God, brother. Hey, look, man. That's why I love them brothers, man. Brothers and sisters, man. All my people, man. We gotta repent and keep these commandments, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And like my brother Monty said, he said repentance is available, man.
That's right.
Right? So we'll get to commandment 173, 174, and 175. 173, not to take part in any usurious transaction between borrower and lender, neither is a surety nor as a witness, nor as a writer of the bond for them. 174, to lend to a poor person. 175, not to demand from a poor man repayment of his debt when the creditor knows that he cannot pay nor press him. That right there is all because we know every bank in America, they don't give a damn.
Nope.
Like they don't care, and we'll take everything you got.
Everything.
Oh, you lost your job?
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
Right.
Wicked as heck, man.
For real.
Right?
And Salakia, King. During COVID, they shut down everything.
Right.
Even your jobs, and they still was calling you for money. That's wicked, man. That's evil.
We got a couple shout outs. We want to say shalom to Sister Aliana. Hey, shalom to Sister Zalia.
Shalom.
Right?
Shalom.
The HOI prospect, man. All praise to
Shalom. More praise to the Most High.
Right, so you're right though, bro. And that's the sad part about this place, man. Well, it ain't sad because you learn to expect that out of your enemy, man. Right. So we're gonna go Exodus 22 and 24. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 24.
And it reads, and my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless.
It was 25.
Oh,
and the elders, you know, all praise to the elders.
I'm like, wait, no. All right, Exodus 22 and 25, and it reads, if thou lend money to any of my people that is poor.
Wait a minute, he said to all the people.
If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury.
Hey, and that's all praises, man. You can't damn put usury on it, man. Right, so that's all praises, man. So we're gonna go to commandment number 176, not to take in pledge utensils used in preparing food. Deuteronomy 24 and 6. And if anybody in the watching, if you have any questions, put your questions into the comment board, and we definitely, all praise to the Most High through the Spirit, we'll answer those questions. That's what this period is for.
That's right.
Is to get any clarification on any of these commandments that maybe you might not know.
Right.
And all praise to the Most High. The brothers on the panel can answer accordingly.
That's right. So we have Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 6.
Con.
Everybody say con when they get there.
Come on, go ahead, King.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, and verse 6. No man shall take the neither or the upper millstone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge.
We gotta break that down.
Yeah, we gotta break that
What's
down.
the nether? Man, cause let's go ahead and share the screen.
You said Exodus 24 and 6?
No, Deuteronomy 24 and 6.
24 and 6.
Salakia, that was law 176 and 177.
76.
Where's on
176. Was it 176 and 177?
No, it's 176.
176.
176. Okay.
24:6.
Yeah, that's what did it say? 26, 24 and 6.
Strong's H 7347. Reche. Reche.
Right, and it's hand mills or a pair of millstones for grinding. So read that again, King.
Deuteronomy 24 and verse 6. No man shall take the neither or the upper millstone to pledge, for he taketh a man's life to pledge.
And the pledge is just a bind. So you basically can't pledge your tools, is what it's saying. Because I guess it's for the Most High. I don't know why somebody would do that, but
Right.
you can't do it. So on to commandment number 177, not to exact a pledge from a debtor by force. Deuteronomy 24 and 10.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 10. And it reads.
Hold on, Salakia, King. Salakia. That last one, I wonder, can I read it in the G&T just in case brothers didn't really understand?
Go ahead, King.
This Deuteronomy 24 in the G&T, it says, when you lend someone something, you are not to take as security his millstones used for grinding his grain. This would take away the family's means to preparing food to stay alive. So what he's saying is that don't take your brother's too. Like say your brother like he owe you money, right? And you say, you know what, I'm gonna take it until you pay me back. I'm gonna take your what you call it, your drill. And that brother's a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how that brother gonna make money to feed his family? That's off, right? You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, King, I just want to break that down so people that don't get it understand it, they can get a better understanding. Okay,
yeah, I did understand it. Appreciate that.
And that was great.
See, that's
And that was great. That was great too. Sometimes you gotta have those other translations, man.
Right.
Because it makes sense now. Hey, that's that brother means of transportation. Like brother's a trucker, and you're like, well, I gotta get your license. Well, how's that brother? So yeah, that makes sense, bro.
And so like Esau do that.
Right.
Esau do that, right? Esau said that if you don't pay him child support, he's gonna take your license away, right? How you gonna make money to pay it? But see, that's the oppression. So he can kill two birds with one stone. He can get you arrested and locked you up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Crazy.
Right. I got a precept. Con. Yep, that's right, because this is Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 12, right? And it reads, it says, hath oppressed the poor and needy, has spoiled by violence, have not restored the pledge, and have lifted up his eyes to idols, have committed abominations. Right, and that going back to the last law, I wanted to read what we read in the 175, and it said, "Have given forth upon usury and had taken increase. Shall he then live? He shall not live. He have done all these abominations. He shall surely die. His blood shall be upon him." So even when, like the brother said, you're taking a pledge, like you're taking somebody's livelihood, you know, like just like the brother used a great example of when, you know, like when a brother can make child support, the police will arrest the brother. Now you can't do nothing for no one behind bars, and they know this, right? So now when you get out, you more desperate than you when you went in.
Right.
So now you're in the streets trying to make some moves, not only to recoup that payment, right, but now to get back on your own feet. And that's, like I said, that's oppressing the poor to the T, right? And I yield with that.
And that's all praises. That's what this system do too, man. Right? So we're gonna go to commandment number 178, not to keep the pledge from its owner at the time when he needs it. Deuteronomy 24:12.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 14, right? No, 12.
12.
Verse 12. And if the man be poor, thou shalt not sleep with his pledge.
Right? You can't. Hey, so that means you gotta pay a man his daily wage. You can't dang sleep with his money. You know, because what if you pass away?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that also goes with the fact of like the payment thing with every 2 weeks. Because I saw companies fold, and next thing you know, they fold, and the people don't work, and they don't get that last check because they said, "Well, we're bankrupt." They file a Chapter 11, and now they don't have to pay their debts. So that's why you're not supposed to sleep with a man's pledge, right? So we're gonna go to.
Hold on, Salaki, can real quick, because I gotta say this, because like even myself, like I have, when I was running my own business, and I had to pay brothers, I had to pay them every week, because you know what, that's when Esau paid me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So even because I know this law, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, man, I had to repent because I couldn't pay him until Esau paid me, because Esau gonna pay you when he want to pay. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? But yeah, man.
And that's madness, man.
Madness.
That's why he got paid. Right? So we're going to commandment number 179, to return a pledge to his owner. Deuteronomy 24:13.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 13. In any case, thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his own raiment, and bless thee, and it shall be righteousness unto thee before the Lord thy God.
And he's saying it'll be righteous for you to do that, because it's wicked to go to sleep with somebody's money. Like, you got their money. Right? Well, if that brother really need to pay a bill, and that's why this system's so wicked, because they keep everybody money, and it's on the means of getting the interest, right? The usury, once again. So they're compounding so many sins upon sins, right? But that's what Esau do.
Right.
So commandment number 180, not to take a pledge from a widow. Deuteronomy 24:17.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 17. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge.
Nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. Because we know a widow don't have a husband.
No.
That's why she's a widow.
Right.
But then you're going to hold her money. She already ain't got a head to take care of her. The couple is going to go ahead and take that money and just do as thou wilt. But that'll just let you know, he said he doesn't regard the person of old,
right,
nor the one of youth.
That's right.
That's in the curses. So we know that when these things happen, like Yahweh always say, we can't give the enemy the most highest credit.
No.
Because he told us he was going to do this.
That's right.
So all we got to do is know and recognize the curses
Mhm.
and then understand that, hey, Yahweh did that. And we got to deal with that.
That's right.
Because our forefathers, put us in a bad
Yeah, they
situation.
did. Yes, they did.
Man. Right? So anybody else got anything to say to add to that? Hey, everybody know them curses is real, boy. Them curses is real. Man. So we're going to go to commandment number 181. Not to commit fraud in measuring. Leviticus 19:35. And we all guilty of that one.
Oh, man.
Everybody with the scales, the triple beam.
The triple beams. Man.
We didn't count the baggy gram.
It's stupid.
We went off. Man, we was off, man. But hey,
dirty rags.
That's when we was wicked, man.
That's right.
We was super wicked. Now we just regular wicked. Now we just go off a little bit. Back then, we woke up to go off.
Yeah, right.
In the time of being wicked, brothers putting extra baking soda, hey, listen, man. That's that wickedness that we did, man. In all ways, man. Sold our people poison. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, nothing make you feel worse than when the spirit hits you and you wake up, boy. Man.
I was getting that fake.
That's why it's important to know who you are. Damn, King Salaki.
Dang.
Ain't nothing more. Listen, man, the spirit of the Most High, when you receive the spirit, all the evil you did before, man, you hate it, man.
And that's what I was just about to say too. That's the beauty part about the Most High, though, is once you do come in this truth, you just feel 10 times worse. Like, man, I was super. Like, I wake up some mornings like, dang, I was super wicked, man. But all praise to the Most High that He gave His Son, Yahweh Shai, man, to give us that grace.
Right.
Because we'd have been all put to death.
All of us.
Flat out, man. So all praises.
And we deserve it, King.
Come on. Absolutely. Right? So not to commit fraud in measuring, Leviticus 19:35.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 35. And it reads, ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
Hey, and that's going into all kind of judgment. Going out there teaching, right? You see somebody on the street doing something, you should not do any unrighteousness in judgment. Go ahead.
In meteor.
Yep, in metyard.
Metyard. And weight or in measure. Verse 36. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead, one more.
Therefore shall ye observe all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them.
And do what?
And do them. I am the Lord.
Hey, we got to do that, man. So we can't be dang running around here like, man, I got this or I got that. I'm going to put interest on it. Like all these things we just went over, man. We got to honor the Most High.
That's right, King.
Right? Because we got to do righteousness, man. Right? And get a precept for that Amos 8, verse 4 and 5, right? Because that was commandment 181 and 182 to ensure that scales and weights are correct, right? And that's also a spiritual correct also, though, because like I said, back in the judgment, you know what I'm saying? You can't be coming in judging somebody wrongfully. Like, well, in my heart, I feel like, no, it ain't about your heart.
That's right.
Because we know that's desperately wicked above all things.
Right.
So,
Amos 8
and verse 4 and 5.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 4. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail.
To do what?
Even to make the poor of the land to fail.
Because that's when he's talking about the ephah and the hin, right? Those are all different grains, right? So you're going to set your family members up to fail because they can't eat. Go ahead.
Verse 5, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn?
All right, and that's it. But now that's starting to go into breaking the Sabbath, right? But hey, that's just letting you know that, hey, when it comes to the measurement of the food and you selling to your brother or sister, you can't be sly and underhanded, man.
Nope.
Right. So then we got one more commandment on this section. We got commandment number 183, not to possess inaccurate measures and weights. Deuteronomy 25, verse 13 and 14. Hey man, you gotta make sure when you're dealing with the Most High children, man, you coming correct with this thing.
That's right.
Cause like we always say, the Most High is the one that's giving you this anyway.
Right.
So how can you dare do His people wrong?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 13. And it reads, Thou shalt not have in thy bag divers weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thy house divers measures, a great and a small.
Right? Go ahead, keep going one more.
Verse 15. But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight.
And that Most High saying that's with everything, with your spirit, right? With your actions, with your commitment, with your vows, right? You got to have a just and perfect weight. Go ahead.
A perfect and just measure,
right,
shall thou have, that thy days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Hey, you got to have it just right, man. You can't dang have too much faith with barely any works, a pinch of works. Or you got a whole bunch of works with a pinch of faith.
Right.
No, you got to have a just weight with your faith.
That's right.
And a just weight with your works, right? And then that's when that balance going to come in, and the Most High going to go ahead and balance that thing out and help you with your salvation, man.
That's right.
Like, because everything is a just weight, man. So we got to continue to endure this thing, right? So anybody else got anything to add?
Yeah, I got a precept, King. Going to what the brother was saying, like a just weight. Like when you measure, you want to make sure you're measuring what you giving the brother is accurate, because that's a false balance. And we already know, false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. That's twofold, This is Micah chapter 6 and verse 10. And it reads, Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Like when you know that you intentionally not putting the right measurements on,
right.
That's an abomination. Verse 11, shall I count them pure with the wicked balance, and with a bag of deceitful weights?
Oh man.
Right? So the Most High saying, like, should I count them pure with the wicked, meaning Israel, and with the bag of deceitful weights? Because Israel would start doing that in ancient world, time of antiquity, man. They would give Jake, like the brother said, they would start the weight at already 4 ounces. And so if you got 16 ounces, you only got, which is a pound, right? You only got 12 ounces. Right. But the scale is saying 16 ounces. And that's been deceitful. That's just on a low level. I like flour and oil, things of that nature, because you got to remember, these things was a rare commodity. You can just go to Food Line and to your nearest Whole Foods and pick up oil and flour.
Come on, man.
These things was grind, these things was made, pressed, everything was done by hand. So you don't want to get cheated when you buying a pound of flour and the brother can only give you like 12 ounces.
Right too. And that's a good point though, because like you said, even with like sugar was counted like gold. So sugar came from the island of Espanol, right? So in order for you to get sugar, like I think it was like something like 75% of all the world sugar came from that island. So in order for you to wait for that ship to come back, and you had to wait for a while. So when you did get that sugar, like bro said, you ain't one trying to get cheated. Because you paying top dollar for sugar. Sugar was a hot commodity. And once, like he said, other things once that became a hot item. So you didn't want to get cheated, because then that would be horrible, right? Shalom, Sister Davi, shalom. Shalom. So yeah, man. So like bro said, it wasn't like you could go to your nearest Whole Food, man. You had to definitely go and get it the hard way.
All right.
So we're gonna get a couple more commandments, and then we'll go ahead and end this thing. So we're going employees, servants, and slaves section. Commandment 184, not to delay payment of a hired man's wages. Leviticus 19 and 13. Leviticus 19 and 13.
Everybody say calm when they get there. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 13. And it reads, Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him, thy neighbor Slakia. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
Hey, and that was just right there on the other one when it said you ain't supposed to keep your neighbor's pledges.
That's right.
Same thing, man. Like anytime you owe somebody, like on Wikidiculousness, when a brother had fixed the starter, as soon as he fixed the brother's starter, he pulling off, man. You can't defraud your brother payments, man. You gotta give it because you're gonna get punished for that thing, man.
That's right.
But you know, our people, you know how we do.
Yeah.
Jake always trying to get over, man.
Yeah, always.
Hoping that brother might pass away when you go to sleep and wake up.
Right.
Like that's why the Most High say don't do that, man. Right? All praises, man. Commandment number 185.
Salakia, I got a precept for that. God, this is the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 14. It reads, let not the wages of any man which had wrought for thee, which means you had worked for thee, right, tarry with thee. Don't keep that man's money, but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversations. Like the brother said, you know what I'm saying? If you owe a man, if a man works for his wages, right, you got to give that man his money. And if it's definitely tarrying with you, right, it's in your pocket, and you don't want to pay that man, hey brother, you in sin.
Right.
That's a law. You must pay that man for his work that he just did, right? And not hold his money with you, right? And I yield with that.
And I love that too, though, because when you see it says, for if thou serve Yahweh, he will also repay thee. So that means, hey, you paying your workers, like Brother Shia said, and the Most High gonna repay you.
That's right.
Not man, not Esau, but the Most High, right? So, hey, I say, if you owe a man, you better pay him.
That's right.
Because the opposite of that is if you don't pay him, then the Most High gonna take your payment.
Oh, he gonna pay you.
Yeah.
the most High gonna pay you another way.
I don't want that payment. I don't want that payment.
You don't want that payment out.
Gone, because his wages is different, right? But the wages of sin is what?
It's death.
And it's a law. And it's a law you must not hold your brother wages overnight. So for the wages of his wages is death.
And also, hey, his judgments are just balance. You know what I mean? You even get into that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, these commandments, they line up, brother. There's no way around them.
No way
they
around.
Perfect, man. So, hey, that's all praises. So if you don't want the just balance from Yahweh, man.
Hey, I love all them commandments. Those are fire.
Come. So yeah, a just balance. So if you don't want that just balance of righteous judgment, then I suggest you just go ahead and follow the commandments, right? So commandment number 185, that the hired laborer must be permitted to eat the produce he is reaping. Deuteronomy 23, verse 24 and 25. Hey, and we know throughout slavery, they never let the slaves eat the produce.
Oh no.
They're like, no, you better not.
No.
I better not find if you was doing a peach in your cottage. No. You better get that hog I'm giving you. But they doing you a favor.
Right. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 25.
And that's also commandment number 186, that the hired laborer shall not take more than he can eat. 187, that a hired laborer shall not eat produce that is not being harvested. Right? So that's 3 commandments, 185, 186, and 187.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 25. When thou comest into the standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the ears with thy hand, but thou shalt not move a sickle unto thy neighbor's standing corn.
Come, man. So letting you know, hey, go up one. 24, I'm sorry.
Verse 24. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes thy fill at thy own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel.
So he's saying that you can't take a lunch pail and fill it up for later. Take it home. No, you can't do that. But if you want to get filled up eating them, and go right ahead to your desire, right? So that's all praises, man. Right? So we're gonna get
I gotta get a precept for that, King, because
yeah,
we
kind.
already know how Esau get down.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
we already know how Esau get down. This is Obadiah, you know, the classic,
Mm.
right? Because it said, "But thou shalt not put any in thy vessel," meaning, and it's talking about grapes right here. This is Obadiah 1:5, right? It said, "If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would
Mm.
thou," right? It said, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the gate grabbers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Right?
Grapes.
Because it just said, like, you can't take nothing with you.
Yeah.
If you go to someone's field and start gleaming and eating, you can eat as much as you want, but you cannot take any in your vessel. But Esau, right? The Lord said, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Because that's the law, right? And
Right.
he further explains it. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right? Because Esau would come and clean the whole field. You already know how it is. I lived in the country, right? When they clean these fields, they don't leave nothing.
Nothing.
They come, they even made a special machine to come back and gather like the sheeps and all the like the hubs that fell off like the corn, and they gather them up and feed it, and they sell it to the swine yards, right, for the pigs. So Esau don't leave nothing. So you know he don't follow this law for nothing.
For nothing in
Now,
there.
yeah,
And even the commandments say that you should leave the corners for the poor and the homeless and the needy. So, hey, and with that being said, we're going to end Torah because it's
Mm.
3 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get the 3 Shemaz and all praise to the Most High, man. So, hey, that's crazy, man. Esau is just wicked, right? So, we're going to go ahead. Anybody stand to the east, and we'll go ahead and do the 3 Shemaz. We're going to end this end the class. Shemai, Shemai, Yasharala, Yasharala, Yahweh, Elohai, Yahweh, Akah, Shemai,
Shema,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Elohai,
Allah, Yahweh,
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 Akah,
Akkad,
Shemai,
Shema,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Elohai,
Allah, Yahweh,
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 Akah.
Akkad.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, is one Lord. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our God, is one Lord. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, your God, our God, is one Lord. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah.
Mm.
I'm just going to put that up there for all those that are new to that. You know, you can find that in the book of Deuteronomy.
6 verse 4.
Hey, I got 2 questions, King, and they regard.
All right, wait a minute. Let me throw this up there real quick. All right. And it's a commandment here. Oh, Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. All right, now go ahead, King.
Okay, so the first question is because it regards to like if you find an animal that's killed of itself, right? Then you can't touch it, right? But I got 2 questions that kind of regard that same manner somewhat. One of them, I believe I know the answer to it. But the other one is kind of like I just want to clarify because you know more than I do. Um, if it were to be like I'm driving the road and an animal jumps out in front of me, kills itself by jumping out from my car, would it be okay to eat the animal or?
Yeah, so dying of itself means that it died of natural causes, which would be some type of a disease. So if you hit it, that would be the same manner if you're like shooting it or something of that nature. So yeah, no, that would be just like it freshly died. Dying of itself would mean it would have some type of a disease. So in actuality, it died of itself on the fact that hey, it was dead. You saw it laying there. You don't know what's wrong with it, and that would defile your temple. You could get sick depending on what the sickness was. So
Okay, so same thing like with my other question was gonna like if I find like say I'm walking through the woods and I see like a mountain deer and it kills the deer, but I shoot the mountain lion. Would it be okay for me to take that deer food?
yeah, it freshly got killed. So I wouldn't see no reason why.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, because if you think about it, that's what lions do all the time.
right.
They'll see a pack of hyenas kill something, and then they'll run the hyenas off and get that animal and take it back to the flock. That's just kind of like using wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to be clear on that because world common sense would tell you that that's okay. If it's not okay according to the most, I don't.
Yeah,
Hey, King, could you go to Exodus chapter 21 with that, King? I know we about to close out, but just to kind of go through that.
Said Exodus what, King?
21 verse, start at 34.
All right, con. The owner of the pit shall make it good and give
Go
money.
go up. Where you at, King? 34.
Yeah, 34.
Go up one. I think it's
33.
shoot from the hip a little bit. Let me see. Yeah, go ahead, King. Breathe.
If a man open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or ass all that, the owner of the pit shall make good and give money to the owner of, and the dead beast shall be his. And one man's ox hurt, and if one man's ox hurt another, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money, and the dead ox also shall divide.
So you see, like if you know, like the brother said, like so it says in one case it says, okay, if it be known that the ox have used to push time past and the owner have not kept him, they shall surely pay the ox for ox. So so I believe that it's okay to eat the ox. You know what I mean? Because it'll say also that that ox should be his. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me see if I can find another one. What the heck goes the ownership for? Money, owner of them, that beast shall be his. So yeah, so say that dead beast should be his. So evidently that he's able to do what he want with that beast. You know what I'm saying? But like the brother said, if it dies of itself, then like it probably have some kind of sickness and we shouldn't eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Well, we're gonna get into that because I got another one for it, but I know we're gonna close out, so we'll get into that on the next one.
Con.
All right, Khan. And we're gonna say Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, all praises to our family. Y'all have a great Ashar Shabbat. And be blessed. Most High willing. Hey, we see y'all next Shabbat. Hey, Shalom. Shalom.